Again, right now, we've entered into contracts. We've provided training dollars with Morgul, with the partnership with the Department of Development. Speedway just trained 1,500 people this year using some funds from the Department of Development. What we were was like the contract agent and then the oversight. We have to enter in the individual's names and then also report to the Department of Labor what the outcomes would be. And what we've really tried to do is to simplify the process. A lot of employers have always been hesitant to partner with government because of the red tape, the bureaucracy, all of the papers that you have to fill out. And I think Jeff will agree, this is a pretty simple process. Do you agree?
It's very simple, actually.
And, you know, like I said, we're just sending over a log sheet, formulas are already built in, they submit their plan, we approve it, the county commissioners are approving, and then we go forward. And I think you had close to $30,000 in training dollars that you received. Speedway, I think, was closer to like $60,000 in training. And they were training in communications and leadership. IT needed an upgrade. So there's various, training components, and that's all, that we can also fund. How this works is, this is on-the-job training. And again, when I was speaking about some of our people were trying to get back in, they've got the skill set. And Jim, I want to deviate a little bit. I mean, we are really trying to get people through, training as quickly as possible, and that it's going to be a skill and a demand. And that's what we're graded on, is the demand. Make sure it's a demand occupation. But we do have people that have the skills, and really, they just need the job or an opportunity. So what we can do to sweeten that pot is to defray or actually underwrite 50% of their wages. And we're in, anywhere from 2 months to 3 months. So it's on-the-job training. It's an application process. Now, the individual would have to be determined if they're under the adult. We usually follow 150% of the poverty guidelines. So we would determine for the adult. But for a dislocated worker, there are no eligibility guidelines other than they have been displaced, downsized, right-sized, through no fault of their own with their company, okay? So we can put them on the job with you, the employer. We pay 50% of the wages, we pay the other 50%. And, it covers all the portion of cost associated with classroom training or on-the-job training, if it's a new piece of equipment that you want them to learn. But again, it gives you an opportunity to kind of, try on a pair of shoes before you buy it. Now, our goal, the ultimate goal would be is that you hire this person. But, we would be with you every step of the way. They have to have a minimum 30-hour work week, and again, they just have to meet our requirements at the WorkPlus Center. Again, it's an application process, pretty simplistic. This is money that we have. Again, I can use 20% of our fund. Just to go back and tell you what that would be, we have $1 million that came in this year, so $600,000 of that is earmarked for dislocated workers or adults. So if my math is correct, that would give us, about $120,000, $200,000 that we can use for OJT, on-the-job training, and/or for incumbent worker training. Now, for the stimulus, still kind of watching this, again, we have some rules and some strings attached. For the stimulus, I have to spend, and this is what David was referring to earlier, that money I have to spend 40% of my funds for adult dislocated workers, which would include on-the-job training or the incumbent worker training by the end of September, if I'm going to use stimulus dollars, okay? The stimulus dollars is right around $140,000 that I have that I want to spend and share with you, my friends. Okay? So what that would be is that, okay, you fill out an application. You just have to kind of list out what type of training. Sometimes we'll get Park State in and give you their assistance in training and help you lay that plan out. But this has to be done quickly. So that means the training, the plan, and the completion of training. We're telling us right now 40% of it has to be done by September 30th. Okay? Now, there is a bill before the Department of Labor and Congress is that they're looking at to rescind all the stimulus money. It's like they gave it to us, and they're trying to take it back as quickly as they gave it to us. So there is a bill we're watching, and they said that, there's a good chance that we would not have that waiver of that 20% after September 30th to issue that 20% in incumbent worker training. We're watching that very closely. So if any of you are employers who have taken advantage of incumbent worker training, if you can contact your representatives and say how important this is to remain competitive in the workplace, to, bridge that skill gap, within your workforce. It's really, really critical that we do this, because these are funds that you all can use. But I work fast, okay? If you call me today and say we need training, we get our data at the table, we can get a contract and get approved, and we can get that training between August and September, as long as you all invoice me quickly by the end of September, and we can get that money. And again, it's trying to retain and help you as the employer. We want to keep your doors open. We want to keep you here in Central Ohio part-time. It's very, very important. So, again, I'm going to give you my number for that one, and it's 327-1962. Call me, and we can come out, Amy and Jen and I can come out and sit down and help you build that, course curriculum or whatever you want to do for training, and we can make it happen. Any questions about this?
Can I dig a little deeper with you on that? So this would be, I'm looking on the incumbent.
Okay.
An existing employee we have who is at 150% of poverty level or below.
Okay, for the incumbent worker, it's a good question, Jennifer. On the incumbent worker, there's no income or no eligibility requirement for incumbent, okay? That is your employee. What we look at is that maybe, if this person doesn't have the skills, the question you have as the employer, am I going to be able to retain that employee because there's a skill gap? But if I have training and I can use training dollars to help this individual, number one, you're going to retain that person. We're not going to be seeing them come through our one-stop as a dislocated worker. So no eligibility guidelines for incumbent. It's to upgrade your workforce, upgrade your skills, retain that employee, advance that employee, so all of the above. That it's going to be a win for the employer, most importantly, and it's going to be a win for that worker. Great question.
Yeah, I was just curious if you were working with